Well, it's the man with the plan. Don't mind all the background noise out there. Freaking loud. Anyway, today we have a Harvester Plus BCS 730 walk behind tractor we're working on. It's got the good old Vanguard 9 horsepower engine on it. 3-speed. This thing does pretty nice. Ow. Not too shabby. Anyway. Italian. Customer hit me up. Said, hey man, got this engine on this little tractor that won't start. Put a new plug in it. It's been sitting for a few years. His neighbors gave it to him and he wants it up and running. So I myself happen to have a knack for getting these things running. So we shall get started. Alright. Everybody likes driving by right now. Anyway, never worked on one of these before, so this will be fun. We have 3 speeds. First, second, third, 2 neutrals. So before we start anything, we'll make sure that is in neutral so it doesn't run away on us should we get this thing going. We got PTO lever to drive. A little PTO behind there, which is where you hook all your attachments when you're doing farming and stuff, and tillers and chippers and stuff. This is your shift linkage for your transmission. This here is your clutch. And then your accelerators on this side. But other than that, she looks pretty good. Tractor part, I can figure that out. It's not just any engine requires 3 things: gas, air, and spark. You can get those 3 things, you can get anything running. So this little Vanguard looks good. The cable sticking out right there. Nothing too crazy. Pull start. Model type code plate right there. On and off switch here. How we looking on gas? If we can get this thing open, it'd be sweet. Oh, she's got a little bit. Hold on. Give it the old sniff test. Smells a little old, but I think she's still got the juice. See, we got a nice little handy-dandy fuel gauge on it. That's kind of cool. Shake it. That's pretty neat. I like that. Looks good. Alright, how to shut it. A lot of weeding action going on out there. Alright, dim light, but she'll work. We got gas. Let's see what this oil's looking like in here. Oh, she still looks pretty good. Looks clean-ish. Need to change that. Put that back on. Alright, we'll get to the tractor section once we know the engine's fine, and then we'll start dealing with all those fluids and everything. So we know we're in neutral. As you can see, shift linkage on the neutral section. We're pinned down, so we're good. Everything looks good so far. Let's start getting this engine going. See what we got here. So, get my tools out. Pull the air box off there. That's the muffler. Get the air box off. And then locate spark plug. Check for spark. And make sure we're looking good. Let me get this thing up on a block so I don't have to be leaning over so bad. Alright, and we're back. Dirt everywhere. Spark plug located right under the exhaust. Right in there. A little bugger. What is that? 5/8 socket. Get it out. He said he replaced it. Looks like he did. He sure did. Okay. We'll get this hooked back up and we'll ground it out. And we'll pull the pull cord. Make sure all the switches are on and see if we get spark. So let's see if I can do this one-handed. Try to ground it out. Very difficult to do one-handed. Pull cord's a little sticky. Try again. Nothing. Alright, we'll start moving on to the next thing, which would be, I'm going to make sure that this boot is making contact with the plug right. I'll try it again, and then if not, we'll have to start getting into the magneto. Maybe it got rust in between and it ain't letting it spark, so we'll find out shortly. Also, I got spare spark plugs. Put another spark plug in there. That one just may be bad, and try it again, see if it does anything. Alright, just try the other spark plug. Same thing, dead. Got the 2 wires from the switch back there, jumped them together, made sure the switch isn't bad. Still dead. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to removing the pull cord. It's got 1, 2, 4 bolts. Pull it off, get that cover off there, and the magneto should be in there. Too bad. When I was pulling it, I was noticing I always like to check these. As you can see, it's a little slow on the pullback. So before I put it on, I'll shoot it with some WD-40 or some PB Blast and loosen that up real nice. So you got the 4 holding the pull cord. You can put it. Yeah, I guess just those 4. You got those 4 there, and then the case itself has 1 here, 1 up top. You got the fuel petcock bolt right there that comes off of, and you should have a couple more. And that casing should come off there. And we're getting after this guy back here, the flywheel, because if it's a magneto ignition, it's got a magnet, I think it's on this side or this side, that it drives spark off of. As you turn this, spark gets pulled, or spark magnets together, science and stuff, sparks. Alright. Freaking hay everywhere. Take this cover off there. It's got 1 bolt on the front and 1 bolt inside corner. So on your engine you'll have 1 here and 1 here. So that comes off. Alright, got 4. Make sure I don't die. Slapped by my dolly. 1 bolt here, 1 bolt right there. You got 1 down here in the corner on the way back, just like that one. Now this should, with a little bit of finesse, come right off. It's a little dusty. Put that aside. Okay, there's the fun part. That is the guy we're after. Reground this, tried the pull start again, did not work. So I'm thinking that our magneto is just dirty. They sit for long periods of time. And where are you? Yep, that'll do it. That little patch on the flywheel behind the fan, right there. See how rusty all that is? Come on, camera, focus. Hello. Yeah, that whole wheel. It's all nice and rusted. That won't give you good contact between the thousandths of an air gap that these two little hello? There we go. You got 2 contacts, 1 on this side, 1 on this side, and as this guy spins around, they rub real close to each other but don't touch, and it causes spark and that's what gets sent over to your boot, to your spark plug, and into your head in combustion. So we take that center bolt out and work on wrenching off this flywheel. Yeah, let me work on wrenching that off so I can properly get that ignition coil off, and we'll go from there. They make a tool for this. It's a little plate, I think, goes across. Bolts go in these holes. They tighten this one up, and it pushes the shaft in and pulls the wheel off. But with a little good old little shock treatment, she does the job. This one, I just get it behind here, lightly tug on it. And these are cast iron, so they can take beating, but I don't recommend swinging away on this. I couldn't find my rubber one, so I used this one lightly, tapped on the edges, flipped it 180, same thing, tapped on the edges. A few times later, she popped right off. There she is. How do you know what side's what? Example, screwdriver, nothing. She sticks. Those are the magnets that they drive off of. And that one looks quite dirty. A little bit of dust in here. A lot of dust in there. They don't look too good. It's only got one. Some of them have two. This one has one. So we gotta get that sanded. Put that over there. And then this guy, we just gotta sand these contacts. 1, 2, get them sanded off and cleaned. I'm not going to take them off because it looks okay in there, but once you take them off, you got to reset the air gap and everything. And if this thing was running at one point, I'm not gonna tamper with that. So grab some, just got some sandpaper, sit here, scrub the magnet on the back end of that, and we'll put it back together and see if we get any spark. So how might you sand them, one might ask? Well, it's not too big of a mission. It's hard to do this. I'm sorry for all the camera movement here. But points, or contact, you want to try to go with all those little fins that are in there. Loud car. Slide up and down with it. You're not trying to take off a lot, you're just trying to take off the surface of it. Keep her clean. Oh. See that? Nice and clean. Other one, not so clean. So we'll get this guy. There, contacts are clean. Move on to the drum. Traffic out there. Oh. Alright. Flywheel magnet. This guy. Same thing. Just work it back and forth. Let me see if I can get it better. Gosh dang it. Bobby. Flywheel. Alright, there you go. Try to get all this little sandpaper grime and stuff off of it. There we go. Look at that. Toasty. Alright, we'll get that, slap that back on there. It's the same part, same way as putting it on, just the other way, I guess. and see if we can get some spark. I'll be right back. The kind of like headache, like an old buddy of mine used to like the fact that I used to tinker with engines and stuff, and he'd be like, oh, I couldn't do what you do because it would drive me nuts because of all the little things you gotta do. Well, interesting part. So the coil and the magnet definitely needed to be cleaned. I'll say that. They were all rusted over. Ugh. There's a wire on the coil right yonder in that boot. Comes out behind the case, runs into here, into this splitter. Well, that little guy. One wire goes back up, and the other wire comes to the switch. So switch circuit, and power comes in one side, or spark comes in one side, and this grounds out to the other. So when you turn it off, it shuts off because it grounds the spark out to the case. Well, the other one is right here. It runs up and it comes all the way up to this guy, this emergency stop handle. Push it down while you're running it, yada yada yada. You want to turn it off, yeah, there you go. And it grounds the spark out, and away you go, because it's right here. This is your switch for it. As you can see, power comes in, and the other side of the switch grounds out. So from now on, we'll push this lever, push that lever down like that, grip the clutch. It's like a safety feature on like your cars and stuff. Changed. We'll put it all back together and see if we have spark now. So I'm gonna start putting this thing back together. Don't mind, that guy needs some serious brakes. So I'll put you back up here on my bucket of my observation bucket. I'm gonna leave that top piece off because I don't know if I need it yet. And then pull cord box. Same thing, blow it out, shoot it with some WD-40. Ran through a few cycles. Look at that. No slack anymore. Sometimes preventative maintenance, people. Preventative maintenance. And I'll snug everything up and we'll see if we got spark. Once again, we'll ground it to something. Frame. Worst case, John stereo, I just get shocked. But I can live with that because it's not like you're starting an engine. Okay, good lesson as to why you should keep an eye on your hardware. These 4 up front have the number 4 stamped into each one. So those are the 4 shallow ones. Like earlier, you saw that clip, pulled it, didn't want to spin. Checked again, 3 out of the 4 had the stamp. This guy was down there holding the shell onto the engine case. Swap those 2 back out, spins like a champ. Okay, let's see if we get any spark. We should now. That's clean. See that? Hey, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, let me put the spark plug back in it. We'll shoot some starting fluid into it and see what she does. See, this is the cool part about doing all this. You guys are gonna see this for the first time. I'm seeing it. So we got spark, we've organized that. Let's see what she does on the case. Left is choke, right, which is a little sticky. I'm gonna lube that up. I should probably do that real quick. Considering that all this stuff has been sitting outside in a shed, I'm gonna pressure wash this whole engine anyway. Oh, camera, hello. I guess anything that slides is getting lubed up. Beautiful. Alright. Run. Starting fluid. Choke. See what this thing does. Oh, we got something there. Let me have a runner, people. Open it up. Choke's on. Try it again. Hey, yo, we got something here. Alright, throttle cable adjusted. Everything's snugged up here. Flows freely. Looks good. Let's see if we got any fuel. There we go. Nice and goopy. Try to flush out as much as we can of that. Alright. Premature. Oh, premature. Okay, we're back. Get this little guy off there. Ow! Foot. Jeez. And they've been sitting for a while. There's a tool for this, but I like to spin them, break them free. And it looks like we got flow. I'll show it looks. Let's turn this petcock the other way. Now we're getting something. If you're unsure if any of that stuff's clogged, excuse me, I got my compressor, air gun, put it in one side, opened it a little bit. As you can see in the tank, we are getting air to flow back into the tank. So let's see what happens when I pull this off. Huh? Being as stubborn as I am, I want to try something. Now that we got gas flow, loosen up the bolt at the bottom. We are getting gas to the carb consistently. So let me tighten that back up and we'll try to fire it once more time. I'm just stubborn because gas is old, but I want to see if it'll start. Okie dokie. Got all the old gas draining out of the tank into the took bag. In the meantime, I found this guy looks plugged. Look at this guy on the bench. Pull those two out, blow it out, and see what happens. It's plastic. I mean, I guess. There we go. That's what kind of crap we're dealing with. Look at that. Yeah, there's a screen inside there too. That screen shot, dude. Alright, let me get it's like a sludge. Okay, let me get the bowl out and we'll start cleaning this up. Good thing for me, way back when, I got all these containers of, or cans of brake clean, so. Alright, let me keep digging. Let me get this cleaned out. Get the screen. Take the little screen off that's inside here. We'll get the little screen taken out, blown out. We'll be on our merry way. Alright, we're back. Got this all nice and cleaned out. This was mud. It was like it had like the consistency of like a brownie. So that little itty bitty crap, I can't get down there in the bottom. I don't want to try pushing my luck and break this, and now we're in trouble. So with that being said, my hands really are bad. Jeez. Gasoline and brake cleaner, I guess. Everything looks good. I'm gonna start putting it back together. No leak. That's on. Yeah, way a lot more fuel flow. So the petcock's rebuilt. And we'll put it back on. I'll pour some new gas in there. Let it flush out until it comes out clear. Put all this back together. I'd like to think that the carburetor's fine. If I can get it to run, it'll clean itself out. It'll like break loose all the stuff on it. But this was the lowest point of the machine. That's why this was all gunky and stuff. But I'll put it back together and let me rinse the gas out and we'll be right back.